For 3 weeks, I've been saying the same thing. 674 on the SPY matters. Not because I want it to matter, but because structure said it would. Yesterday, the market pulled back, tested that level, found buyers, and closed strong. The exact price action we've been looking for, waiting for. And here's why that matters, especially if you've been struggling to outperform the markets. Early in my career, the recent price action is really where I used to blow it. I would give back work that I had spent months compounding. I'd imagine strength, I would chase trades, I'd feel bullish, and I would trade without confirmation. I would predict instead of plan, wait, and react. And what changed everything for me was not some secret indicator or a new setup. It was learning market breadth and learning to let structure work for me instead of against me. And that's the difference between guessing and building scenarios that protect your capital first and put the momentum of the market at your back. I'm going to quickly roll clips of the last 8 watchlist videos showing exactly how I mapped this level. And ultimately, when we're in a choppy, non-follow-through environment, why patience is the real edge. Because this wasn't luck. It was if this, then that. Well, we got it. So let's take a quick look here and we'll jump into the watch list and map out our plan for the days and weeks ahead. Pull back and then hold above it. Pull back and hold a level above it. Would be lovely to hold this 674 area. The markets rallied and invalidated the lower high. And now we need them to pull back and hold to get an ideal entry for a push into year end. Pullback that held one of our levels, the 674. So that is a price action that I'm looking for. 2 scenarios I'm looking for. The main one is this inverse head and shoulders to play out, which we've been talking about for a while now. I would really love to see it hold the 674 level. We're getting a pullback. We want to see it hold structure and we can buy that move. So anywhere above 674.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
How's that feel? I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
So look, guys, just a little bit of fun there, but I do really want to hone in on this point that, after the Thanksgiving move, this sideways price action, positioning into this was not working with an edge or probabilities. I knew that the market was going to pull back and it could have broken out on us, but I then still would have waited for the pullback that held structure. Okay, that is healthy confirmation price action that we need to sustain a move higher, to have follow through, right? We want to be trading a trend with follow through. And when we went sideways here, we were consolidating, okay? And we could have broken out of it, in which case, again, we would have waited for the pullback, retest, and hold to buy. But I really grew in my confidence that we were going to pull back and retest that major structural level, okay? And it's exactly what we have done. This is a beautiful reaction off of it. And now, today, we're simply looking for a resumption of trend. We have invalidated the downtrend that we were in. We made new highs and validated technically all 3 of these swing highs. Made a new high and we've pulled back, held structure, and it looks to have made a new higher low. That is the first step of initiating a new trend. So we can buy the resumption of trend back over the 9. We can begin to put on risk. And that is likely what I'll do here today. I will likely take a quarter or half size position to put on risk. This is still, because we're below highs, a risk environment B. I do still want to see us break out and again, confirm that move. And that is the move that I can really lean into, size up, and take multiple full size positions. So that is the new price action that I'm looking for, guys. I want to remount the 9. I may take a trade here today or tomorrow if we do have follow through price action, and then we'll wait for things to break out, probably take some profits and let the market pull back, triple R again for us. I'd love for that to be above the breakout level, the all-time high breakout level. But if we come back just a little bit, as long as we now hold this higher low, then any pullback that holds above it is the same scenario we just waited 3 weeks for, okay? It is allowing the markets to take a breath, pull back, show buyers step in. Wall Street is the buyers that I mean. We need them at our backs. We want to work with the momentum of the market, and forcing yourself to wait for these pullbacks that hold structure and then resume trend, that will change your life. I promise you, it is the only thing you need to do. And you align that with trading the leaders in a trend backed by growing fundamentals, a triple R on the leaders. I'm going to cover quickly 20 of them today. But if you align proper market timing through market breadth with trading the leaders who are also doing the same thing, a retracement, reaction at around a level, and then a remount of the short term, you will hit at over 70%. And if we are in a clean follow through environment, meaning what we were in from May until early October, I hit at over 90% in this entire trend. And we might be reinitiating that sort of follow through environment, okay? But this chop for 2 months, guys, on this channel, I've been telling you nonstop, scale it back. This is not follow through price action. This is the kind of stuff that they will grind you and kill you by 1,000 cuts, okay? This is the kind of stuff where most traders blow up because they try to force it because they can't read the room. And the room said for months, chill out. Unless you're a chop trader, you know, I don't do that anymore, okay? That it's too difficult, okay? If you can just be patient and even walk away when we're clearly not in a trend anymore and wait for the next multi-month run, it's all you need. I made over 200%. I tripled my account in this move, okay? And then I had some pullback in this chop. And now I'm very likely going to be back over 180. And I still think, you know, if we do get follow through on this move, I think I'll still triple the account this year. I think I'll get back over 200% into year end. If we remount the 9, break out, pull back, hold again, if we can do all of that in the next week or so, I think I might be able to get us back over 200. But hey, enough about that. I've got too many names here to stall anymore. I have to be repetitious on this because it is the core of trading. Market structure, market breadth, trading the leaders in a trend backed by growing fundamentals. It is all you need. And really quick, right before we jump in, I'm going to start doing a live session on Saturdays where I teach my triple R in a condensed fashion. It's no gatekeeping. I'm going to show you exactly what the triple R is, why it matters, why it works. And then I will jump into a live breadth analysis that I do every weekend. I'm going to start doing it live with you guys. I'm going to look through the markets, through the sectors, find the strength, identify levels, and build my plan for the week ahead. So I'm going to start doing that every Saturday, and I will also do a live AMA in the session. So you can ask me absolutely anything. I will hold nothing back. If you have a question, if you've been here for a while and you're wondering things, I know some people are wondering about the market internals that I look at, I will answer anything you bring to me in these live sessions. So email me at warrensnacks@gmail.com and I will send you the Zoom link to that live session that I will begin doing. I'm going to try to work with Saturday mornings, 8:30 New York time. All right, look that up wherever you are in the world, 8:30 New York time, and we'll go live. You know, we'll see how long it goes. As long as people are there and engaged, I'll stay as long as you guys would like. So do reach out, warrensnacks@gmail.com, and I will send you that link. With all of that said, let's take a look here at our market breadth, starting with it as I always do like to do. Look, guys, I mean, you know, it's exactly what we were looking for. We bumped our head at all-time highs, pulled back into structure, reacted off of it. We're looking for the remount of the 9 to begin applying some risk. Looking quickly here at the RSP price action, I mean, absolutely textbook, beautiful retracement right back to test prior all-time highs. And, you know, if we get a reaction off of that, that would mean broad positioning. We don't want to just see the SPY running. We want to see the RSP running along with it. And IWM, the exact same sequence that I said there. We want broad positioning throughout markets. We do not want to only be led by the SPY while these other things lag or even sell off at times. So same thing here, guys. We pulled right back into all-time highs. We're reacting off of it. I am looking at TNA. We'll start with it. So you get a retracement reaction at around our level. I'm looking more so at the IWM. For TNA, I'm trading the IWM small caps ETF, but TNA is my vehicle. I don't need to take options on this because it's already 3x leveraged. I have in the past, but I just don't think you need that additional leverage. It's already a 3x ETF, so whatever the IWM does, this does it at a 3x multiple. Okay, so the IWM is looking to possibly react off of our level and get back onto trend, back up towards new highs. And if that happens, then we can take this triple R here on TNA. I like it through yesterday's high, so about 49.15 is what we'll watch there. JCI is when we were watching live and last night's Bootcamp live session as it triggered. You know, we had some market internals that I did not like at the open, and it protected us in some of the other names, like Rocket Lab was ripping out of the gates, and you might think, man, it's running away from us, but the market internals were telling us to pump the brakes. We had a fantastic live session last night. I really enjoyed that. You guys said you did as well, but you know, this is one that held up very well where Rocket Lab, let's just look at it, RKLB, ALAB. Let's look at yesterday's price action on it on the 5-minute here. All right, so it ripped out of the gate, started remounting our moving averages, but our market internals were at that point signaling caution. You can see here on the up-down volume, we were selling off all morning. And then the advanced decline, the stocks making new highs versus new lows, we had a bearish divergence in compared to some of the stocks that were moving, that were ripping. Okay, most of the market was selling off in the morning session. So I was like, hey guys, first of all, we're not even triple R'ing on the market, which we were not doing yet. I don't think this pullback is finished in the morning session. And then you can see things sold off. So we protected ourselves with market internals. And then Stuart, fantastic call on noticing RSP. We'll pull that up here as well. The RSP was selling all morning, busting yesterday's lows. The RSP was selling off all morning. You don't need market internals, okay? RSP is enough. Looking at the SPY and the RSP to identify if we have full market participation. So see how the RSP was selling off at the open? While the SPY was chopping and trying to push higher, the RSP was doing this all morning long. Okay, so that was a bearish divergence aligning the SPY and the RSP. The same 500 stocks, one of them equally weighted and one of them led by the Mag 7, more heavily weighted by the Mag 7, or just the largest market caps in the world. Okay, so when we see that, we know, hey, listen, we don't have full market participation, so should we be adding right now? Probably not. And then what happened for the rest of the day? We sold off. We retested that level that we've been looking at so closely. We got a beautiful reaction off of it. And now we're waiting for the remount. Okay. So there's some live market breadth analysis, things we can go into deeper on the Saturday sessions. Let's look at Hood here and we'll jump back over to just the daily. I am still looking at Hood. On the daily chart, I needed over the 50, but this is slightly more attractive for me here on the weekly, back over about the 125 area would be a good look. And make sure you align that with XLF, the financials ETF. Make sure you're getting strength out of it as well. You want broad buying throughout the sector that you're looking to initiate a position into, okay? On top of the market as well. The market needs to trigger that triple R. We want to see, if I'm going to go live again, Bootcamp tonight, but we want to see convincing buying throughout the ETFs. Market internals need to be firing and following through to the upside. All right, we want the RSP popping off, IWM popping off, SPY popping off, the Qs popping off. We want to see broad buying if we're going to initiate positions, especially just under all-time highs, okay? If this is going to be the move that pushes us through it, we need full participation, and that is identifiable. Shop is a name that I really just do love. I prefer this on the daily. You could wait for it to clear range here. I would maybe do that. You could consider through yesterday's high if things are strong, but waiting to clear range would probably be the safer bet with a swing low stop. The 155.50 is your stop here on it. And you can see how this thing, really sort of wanted to rip, and then we got the 2-day sell-off, wanted to rip out of this range here, and then we got a couple days sell-off in the market that pulled it back, but it held structure pretty well. Nice reaction here yesterday. I think, this here is why I don't mind it through yesterday's high. But again, if you'd like to be a little more safe, you can just let that clear range, okay? And there's a trigger for you there on Shop. CRDO, this is not my favorite just because we really invalidated the move and gap up on earnings. We really gave back most of that move. So sellers are absolutely in control of this chart right now, but back over the 50 would be a shake and go entry because we did not break structure. We got a breakout, fake out, shake out. We did not break structure. We didn't make a new lower low. All right, so a remount, a triple R. It's a shake and go with triple R. Retracement, reaction at or around our level. What's our level here on this one? Near recent low. So if we get a reaction that holds that level and remounts, it's a retracement, reaction, remount. So it's a shake and go with triple R trigger on CRDO. It's slightly attractive. I would size down on this because it is so volatile, but it is one that can get quite squeezy, as you can see. All right, and we've got TLN, one I still have not traded. Somebody brought this to my attention in Bootcamp. I still have not found a way into this stock, but you can see this is I trade the leaders in a trend backed by growing fundamentals, and I like for them to retrace, react at around our level, remount, and it is a resumption of trend. So when you identify leaders that clearly have the ability to hold structure when they pull back, they don't make lower lows, they pull back, hold structure, remount the short terms, right? This is one that is proven to be able to do that. Okay, the market has been shaky for 2 months, but we really didn't break down. This is very, very nice price action. It does look a little head and shouldersy, but if we invalidate that, if we remount the 50 here, it is attractive. Amazon is one that, another one, I really like Amazon long term. Okay, I have a robotics video coming out where I detail this pretty heavily. Regardless, as a trader right now, back over the 50, Amazon is pretty attractive. Let's look at it on the weekly. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, that sort of aligns with the same area. So the 228 area is a weekly trigger for me here. Look, we did not break structure. This is a shake and go on Amazon. So you get a breakout, fake out, shake out that did not break structure, and you get a weekly trigger at around the 229 area. I do like Amazon, and I like it long term. So if you want to do shares and just begin DCAing into Amazon, I think this is a good place for a starter. Dash is one. I don't love this because of the gap down, or this big engulfing candle, but look, we did not break structure on the weekly here. This real swing low, like you could say we had a swing low here, but this is a hard swing low right here that we did not break, and we're remounting our moving averages here. I don't love the idea. If there's an argument for consumer being tapped in America, Dash is certainly one. It's why they sold off, right? There's the consumers are out of money. Well, credit spending is higher than ever. Look, this looks a little squeezy to me, and we're just below all-time highs. If this can get through the 233 area, it's, I think it's worth a swing. And in my opinion, we don't need to let it retest swing low. We can stay pretty tight on this at the 50. All right, so we're looking at a trade here that looks sort of like this to me, really tight risk on something that you can target, at the very least, recent highs. And I think if this is going to get squeezy, you're looking at a bigger cup and handle IPO cycle breakout here, that this could really get some legs on it if it invalidates a sell-off. You can see the strength that comes out of these sort of moves. The remounts on the weekly, you got one here. I traded 7 times in this move, and then I traded one weekly. That one weekly was bigger than all of the daily trades that I took, but Dash is a good trader. It does respect structure. So it's on watch. I'm not sure I love it. And then Apple I like on the daily. This has been a relative strength leader as the market was going sideways and coming down. Apple was breaking out. And look, it pulled back into structure. We're getting a reaction. A remount of the 9 on Apple is attractive to me. ALAB, this is another shaky one. If you choose to take it, do size down. This is a volatile, high beta, shaky name, okay? But back over the 50 here on the daily is attracted to me. We still held structure. We popped up, pulled back, held structure, did not break our swing low. It looks decent to me on the weekly as well. And all we are doing, as you can see that yellow line, is testing the prior all-time high levels. And currently, we're holding up. So a weekly trigger here for me on ALAB is still attractive, but you can see how shaky it has been. It's been a tough one to get into, but also the market has been screaming pause, don't do anything for 3 weeks, right? So now if we do get that confirmation in the market, it could be the move that does get the legs and follow through in ALAB and many of these other names, okay, that have been tough to get into, but you shouldn't have been forcing things for the last 3 months. All right, we might have our signal in our trigger here today, but control your size until we break out and hold that move. I won't stop saying that. ANET, another weekly trigger for me here that is attractive. You could wait for it to get over last week's high if you would like. NET is another one that I do like, I believe, on the daily. No, this is a weekly trigger for me here on NET. You get a breakout, fake out, shake out. I will say this sort of breached structure here a little bit. So not textbook shake and go, but the price action is there. Breakout, fake out, shake out, and a remount of the 9 here is attractive. And the same thing, you're sort of looking at a long-term base breakout IPO cycle here. It's testing all-time highs, getting in just below it, and then you could let it break out and maybe go up to full size with the market. Man, it's funny how this stuff works out. RKLB is one that, we sort of covered that earlier, so I'll keep it quick here. Over yesterday's high on the daily is attractive. Absolutely no reason to let it re-breach yesterday's low, okay? If you do get into that on yesterday's high, your stop goes right here, and you're targeting the recent high level. It should be plenty for the 2-to-1. If you feel good about your position and the market having follow through, you could even target all-time highs. All right, so that's a That's a great trade there with a pretty tight stop. I like that. There's no reason to let it breach and stay in that position. If it does breach yesterday's low, should you choose to take it if the market confirms today. ASTS is a very similar story, same space. The space. Let it get back over the moving averages. Swing low is our stop, and we're targeting the 2-to-1. To look at it visually, it's something along these lines here. Right there is your trade on ASTS should the market trigger, something along those lines. ISRG continues to look attractive to me. I really love this company long term. But I think right through top of range yesterday, we put in an inside day, breaking that range at the 662.50 area is a green light for me here on ISRG. Got Reddit looking to triple our trigger. You get a retracement reaction and a remount right there. Reddit trigger over yesterday and Monday's high is a trigger for me on it with the swing low as your stop. And then I've got a couple uranium stocks, which I did expect a little more heat to come into this off of that report. I don't remember what bank it was, Morgan Stanley maybe. Anyways, they did a report on the uranium supply demand over, I believe, the next decade or two. I thought there was going to be a bit more of a reaction in the space to that report. I do believe that to be the case. You know, a long-term narrative for uranium, obviously with nuclear being so important, uranium is the key element in that narrative. So look, I like this on a weekly trigger, same thing here with UEC. I think just a reversal on this week's price action, a strong close on this in the next day or two. I do like that as a weekly trigger. Let's look at it on the daily. Yeah, back over the 50 right there. Back over the 50 on UEC is attractive. We're still holding up above that box breakout level. Very, very attractive price action for me here. Holding structure. We have changed character. We're currently holding structure. Getting back over the 50 is very likely to give us new recent highs, okay, and retest the all-time high levels. CEG falls in that nuclear uranium sector. Look at this, remount in the 50. That is attractive, targeting new highs. I like this long term. This is in my power video for the AI stocks I like for the next decade. I've got a series of that I've been putting out. Go watch the power video. I featured this company there. Some bigger picture visual storytelling on why this company is a great investment, in my opinion, for the next decade. And that's it, guys. That's all we need to cover here today. Hey, do consider coming to that live session on Saturday. Again, email me at warrensnacks@gmail.com. I will send you the link. Should be an exciting day, so stay safe, manage your risks. Let's go make some money. I'll see you soon.